We're back on Get Up as we approach the bottom of the hour. This is a game called Something or Nothing. So Giannis Antetokounmpo, about whom we'll be speaking a lot over the weekend, or over the course of this offseason, I should say, during this weekend was on Twitter doing an AMA, and one person asked, what's your favorite city to play in on the road? And his answer was New York. And of course, no one reacted to that at all. No one made an extremely big deal of that, suggesting that he's leaving you a little breadcrumb, that he's leaving you a little hint that in this offseason, where all the speculation will be about his departing Milwaukee and where does he want to go, that he means New York. Monica McNutt, was that something or nothing?
Listen, Greeny, we all are. What three cities get mentioned anytime guys are asked their favorite NBA cities?
New York, LA. I would
You know
have
the
to
last
say
one. Miami. Yeah. Like, duh. Like, this is any.
He doesn't want to spill the tea.
Right.
Yeah, oh, got it. So, like, this is nothing. And I get it. Emotions are high in New York. There could be no wrong. The Pope went to Villanova. Like, the whole thing. It's great here in New York. But no, this is nothing.
This is nothing.
Nothing.
The idea that the Knicks might try to get Giannis. Well, let me reframe the question. The Knicks are now in the Final Four without Giannis, with this Villanova-led group and all the rest of that. Who knows? You know what influence the Pope has over all of that. But you know what I'm saying? What's that?
It was the anointing of the day.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, like, are the Knicks fans that you guys hear from, like, are they all still saying, "Oh, get us Giannis, whatever we have to do to give up"? Because what you're giving up, of course, is this group that everyone has fallen in love with, that has taken this team now to the Final Four.
They use it as the safety net if the Knicks can't win a championship this year. That's what stuff like that is. Now, if Road City to me is the key phrase. If it was just city, then you can probably get hype. But Road City means he likes to visit, but maybe doesn't want to quite live here. But that's one of the worst kept secrets in the league. He loves New York, a big Greek community in this city, of course, somewhere he's very comfortable visiting.
Also
in fact, when their season ended, the first place he was seen is in Manhattan. It is not something that is a surprise. He also did wax poetic about Wisconsin and Florida.
You know where else there's a big African population, not just New York, also in Houston, Texas.
That's where I'm at. Okay, we're on the same page here. I will also add, all we know about Giannis, he's extremely savvy. There are no tax breaks in New York. I just want to call that out. So everybody just calm down.
But do you know where there are tax breaks?
I do.
In Texas.
Is this a commercial?
Shameless plug.
Yeah. So you're talking about the Rockets. I feel like I heard a lot of conversation about San Antonio coming out of the draft lottery and all that, which last time I checked, my atlas is also in the state of Texas. And might make, if I'm Giannis right now and I'm looking at the situations, if my goal, see, one of the complicated things that we do when we start assessing where people should go is we start assuming we know what their priorities are. People's priorities in life are allowed to be whatever they want them to be. I've been doing this 30 years. I'm always trying to put someone in a place where they could win another championship. The late, great Kobe Bryant, I remember when he signed his last deal in LA. I remember saying on the air, you know what? He should have tried to go somewhere else where he could have a chance to win at the very end of his career. But obviously, he knew best. It was important to him to finish there, and whatever the reasons were, they were.
Steph Curry last year.
And Steph as well, and LeBron and all the rest of that. So maybe what he's interested in is worrying about where he wants to live and where he wants to finish, you know, the second chapter of his career. But if it was just about winning, if his number one priority was winning a championship again, where should he want to go?
That's a tough question because, you know, all these teams have to give up so much to actually get them. Like,
so don't you dare say what I think you're about to say with that in mind.
So are they even in position to say they're going to win a championship? Like, Milwaukee is not in position to say they're going to win a championship. So staying there is also, you know, is not what he wants to be.
Where he going?
My opinion, and I'm going to say this because I doubled back on it a couple weeks ago.
Say it with your chest.
I'm going to say Miami. Like, I love Miami. I love the fit. I love the style. I think he can get other guys to come out there. And actually, I think Pat Riley might have to take a little step down because you're getting a guy like that. So now he builds it around him. No,
Monica's very upset.
But then that kind of puts you in a position where if you get Bam to go to Milwaukee, it's something that tightens it now that Milwaukee don't feel like they left out with nothing.
You just said you're going to have to give up so much to get this guy. That's going to be Milwaukee South.
Bam,
there's nothing
you
around.
get Bam, you do some stuff with Tyler Hero. No, you take Bam out.
You trade Bam. Okay.
You take Bam to Milwaukee, maybe Tyler Hero. Now we don't have to start all the way over if I'm Milwaukee. Now, maybe we don't have to start at the bottom and try to do what OKC do because everybody can't do that.
But Miami now just looks like the same team he just left in Milwaukee in Miami.
Every team is going to look like that because they have to.
But they have
Houston
No,
doesn't
not
have
every
to.
team.
Houston
Golden
doesn't
State
have to.
won't look the same. Like,
Talk to me.
But who goes
Giannis is 30 years old. He's a walking 30 points on 12 rebounds on 60% shooting from the field. He needs a paint to roam. He is one of the most relentless at the rim, and he needs shooting. And to me, that's what they bet on in Milwaukee, which is great, but also the defense took a step back by adding Dame and losing Drew. In Golden State, you're tag teaming. The only issue I have, but at first, like, you're tag teaming with the greatest shooter of all time. Like, they had an issue with size on the interior, but they also like to play small ball, and now you can use him as a roamer, a switcher defensively. Like, if I see Steph and Giannis, that is a match made in heaven, basketball heaven to me. So, you know, I'm looking at the circumstance. The only issue I have is that, you know, the timelines. He's 30 years old. Steph is like 34, 35.
No, he's older than that. I think
exactly.
37.
He wants to, you know, I think finding a place to win a championship surrounded by shooting, that's number one.
I'm staying out the West. If I'm Giannis,
I'm staying out the West.
That's an interesting thought.
I'm going to the East
that's
where
fair.
I can continue to build.
I lied.
Brings us back to New York.
I feel like, well, but for the league, you want him in a big market.
Yeah.
You want him in a big market. You want him somewhere where he can, his personality, everything else about him can shine along with the winning. And by the way, why don't we ever talk about Jokic this way? Why aren't we talking about Jokic
Because
in the same
Jokic
light?
tolerates
Because
us.
he
and just happens to be great at basketball.
One guy is like, we assume Giannis wants to chase rings.
You know
we
why?
don't say it about Jokic.
Because we haven't seen the cycle the way we've seen the cycle in Milwaukee. Giannis said, I want to win a championship. And what do? They changed multiple coaches. They added multiple players. They put their chips on the table. And now you see that it exhausted a lot of options. I don't think Denver is there on the process. Even though they made a lot of changes in the season, they're not fully there yet.
Yeah.
Steph is 37, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, just, I mean, he's...
Thought he was younger.
No,
Be
yeah.
happy with me, Steph.
Well, he plays like he's...
aging
He
well.
plays like he's 33 or 34. Look, the bottom line of it is this. If indeed his goal is to win a championship in wherever it is that he goes next, one thing that was said at this table makes a lot of sense to me. Stay in the East.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at the way the lottery went.
Yep.
Like the West is going to be brutal. The East is going to be the place that you try and get it done. Now Milwaukee is going to have some say in where they're willing to send him, and I'm going to circle it all the way back to the beginning of the conversation. If the Knicks lose to Indiana, are the Knicks going to make a play for Giannis?
They'll have conversations. There's no doubt in my mind you have conversations, but it's the cost.
Yes.
What it cost. They've already gutted some of their roster to make the changes they made. You cannot keep doing that and thinking you can contend for a championship.
Especially the next year, like after you just made big trades. I don't see that.
But it won't. They're not going to stay. It won't lay out. They'll be in the conversation. They'll have to be.
I don't think this puts him in a position to win right now. But if he can give it a few years, you also can't sleep on Brooklyn. The sides are in as owners in terms of if they can build it out.
That's why the New York
it depends
thing
on how
isn't just one
quickly
team.
he wants to win.
All right, let me leave it there for the moment. It's going to be very interesting to see what he does. When the NBA Finals are over, we become Giannis Central, I think, as far as the NBA community.
Hello, xin chào tất cả mọi người. Hôm nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn mọi người các một chú cua nha. Mời cùng bắt tay và gấp với mình nha. Đây là những dụng cụ mà mình đã chuẩn bị để mình làm nhé mọi người. Mình đã chuẩn bị một tờ giấy màu vàng và một cái kéo nha. Bây giờ mọi người cùng bắt tay và làm với mình nha. Mình sẽ để gọn đồ sang một bên. Mình sẽ gấp chéo tờ giấy lại nha mọi người. Mình sẽ dùng kéo để cắt phần thừa này đi nhá. Vậy là mình đã được một tờ giấy màu, mình đã được một hình vuông to như này rồi nhá mọi người. Mình đã được một hình vuông như này rồi nha. Tiếp theo là mình sẽ gấp đôi tờ giấy lại. Mọi người có thể dùng màu khác mình, kích thước khác mình, nhưng mà phải có hình vuông như này thì mới làm được nha mọi người. Phải làm một tờ giấy hình vuông nha. Tiếp theo mình lại gấp đôi vào. Tiếp theo là mình tỏ ra nha. Mình gấp phần này vào đây. Cái này mình cũng gấp vào đây nha.